All right, circuit one starts with the chest press for the pectoral muscles. You're going to find your chest press machine, advance the weight stack using your hands, place the top grip, lean back, accept the weight with your arms, push out, back to the body, not past the body. We're going to do 10 repetitions. Remember to blow out with the exertion. Use the foot to keep the weight from going back, and hands in your lap. Now you're ready to progress to the flies. So in circuit one, after you've completed your second time through with the chest press, you'll go immediately to your flies. You're going to find the forward position, bring those together. And you're going to complete as many repetitions as you can through fatigue. So you're picking a weight you can do between 10 and 15 times. You're going to push yourself till you can't do any more. And then you're complete with that pectoral portion of this first circuit. Second exercise in circuit one is a seated row. You're going to go chest plate forward, feet on the silver pedals, reach, and you're going to row backwards. Keep your head nice and tall. I like to just look up at the TV from our position. You're blowing out with exertion when you row. Ten repetitions, something you can only do 10 times. Next exercise for fatigue after your seated row is this single arm row. You're going to set your parameters on number A and number 8 so that you get the right angle of pull. You're going to line up in the middle on Cybex and pull across. Make sure you keep your feet on the ground. You feel that stretch, and then pull back in a single arm row. Obviously, because this is a one arm exercise, we have to do it on both sides to fatigue. Okay, we'll go right to the other side. The front leg is opposite of the arm that's pulling. All right, the next exercise is a walking lunge for your hamstrings. I'm going to show you the form on one repetition, and then we'll go through the walking lunge as an exercise. You're going to take a nice big step, bend that knee, drop the back knee to the ground. Bar on your back keeps you nice and tall. And then you're going to advance it through, taking a step with the next foot. You're going to take a big step forward, drop that back knee, keep locomoting forward. We're going to take 5 steps each way with each foot, and then reverse it. So your fatigue set for hamstrings is the leg curl. You're going to sit in it like you get in a car seat. Put your legs on top. Pull that thigh piece down so you can hold on to the handles. You're going to bend the knee underneath you as far as you can, and then slowly back up. You want to keep your back pressed nice and flat against the pad. You want to make sure your ankles are free so that they're not pulling the weight, that the weight is above the ankle. As your fatigue set, you're going to do as many as you can until you can't do any more, and then you'll be done with hamstrings. To complete circuit one, we're going to start with our first core exercise, which is the upper abdominal exercise, or a Swiss ball crunch. You're going to rock it out so your back's flat against the ball. Come up into the curl.
Yeah, he must keep it. That's probably why.
Keeping that chin tucked so you don't poke your head up in the air. Just a nice little crunch. The ball's nice because it keeps your back in a really good alignment. Your fatigue exercise for the upper abdominals in the first circuit is the machine crunch. Cross at the ankles. Nice easy pull with the elbows. Curl down. Back up. You're going to do as many as you can to fatigue. You only go until your back starts to come off that pad. It's not a full crunch, it's just a small crunch. That's the end of circuit 1. So you're going to go do your 4 minutes of cardio and then be ready for circuit 2. So our first exercise of circuit 2 is a lat pull down, works your back. Got to make sure your seat is set so your feet can go on the floor, but the thigh pads will put pressure so that they counteract the pull of the machine. Wide grip. Feet are on the floor, lean back slightly, and pull to your chest. Slowly stand up with the weight, and you're ready for your fatigue set on the assisted dip. So the fatigue set is with the assisted dip. It's opposite of other machines in that you set more weight to give yourself more help, okay? So if you're heavier, it's gonna be easier, all right? You're gonna climb up. Wide grip is harder, narrow grip is easier. I don't care which you use. Step onto the weight, accept the weight in your hands, and you're gonna pull up. On your way off, step back, let the weight down, and you're done with the first exercise in circuit 2. The next exercise in circuit 2 is a recumbent squat, works your quadricep muscles. You're going to adjust the excursion. So the higher the ramp, the less bend in the knee. You're going to assume the position with your feet and toes off the edge. Shoulders snug under the pads. Push up. I like to work single legs because of the differences side to side. I'm going to go into a little more than a quarter squat. I really push through the heel as I come up, gives me more work. Switch to the other foot. Picking a weight that 10 times is challenging. Okay, when you get off, bring the stack down, turn on your side like you're getting out of bed, slowly sit up, then you're ready for your fatigue set with the ball squats. The fatigue exercise for quads, you're going to use the ball squat. Pick a ball that's 65 centimeters or less, put it behind your bottom, walk your feet out, that way your feet don't end up behind your knees. You're going to roll down and the ball is going to fit nicely into your back to keep you in good form. You're going to hold 5 counts, come back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back up. If you're in good form, the knees are directly over your feet.
So yeah, so I'm like excited. It's what I want.
So this is your fatigue set. You're going to do as many as you can. But what I like to do on the last one is just hold it. So I'm just going to hold it for as long as I can. And that's going to make me ensure that I get to my fatigue. Now you're ready for your next exercise in circuit 2. For the third exercise in circuit 2, we're going to work calves. With this calf machine, you want to make sure you're on the lowest position possible towards the silver bar. You're going to get in, put the balls of your feet on the bar, push up, keep the knees straight, drop the heels, and back up onto the toes. So it's just working the calves. You want to make sure you go through a full range of motion. Now you're ready for your fatigue set on the seated calves. Seated calf for your fatigue set with calves. Make sure that the weight stack is snug across the thighs. Come up onto your toes, let that go. Go down into a full heel drop, then up onto the toes. You're going to do as many of these as you can. I like to make sure people aren't bent over on this one. You stay nice and tall. I even have some people hold their hands up in the air so that they do not round those shoulders forward. When you finish that last one, you hold it up, slide that in, weight stack there, you re-rack your weights, and you're done and ready for your next exercise of circuit 2. So the abdominal exercise for circuit 2 is for your lower abdominals. We're going to do 3 different exercises, 1 for each time through. First time through that circuit, you're going to do the bicycles. Second time through, you're going to do the leg drops. And then you're going to go right to the fatigue set, which is the roll-up. You're going to do hands behind your head, both feet off the ground. You're going to bring that up and across, nice and slow. This is your bicycle. Keeping that back nice and flat. I don't care if the elbow touches the knee. I don't want any flapping of the arms. That torso turn is really important to me. Nice twist up top. Second pass through, we're going to go into a leg drop. Hands are going to be underneath your butt. Bring those knees up. You're going to drop the legs out and bring them back in. The key on this exercise is to not let your back arch. So you may have to go higher if your abdominals are weaker. If your head and neck is tired, you can keep it on the ground. Chin tuck, lift head up. It's going to work those neck muscles. Our fatigue exercise for the lower abdominals is the roll-up. Arms are going to go overhead. Slowly lift the arm and head, 1 vertebrae at a time. Reach out. Slowly back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. If that exercise is challenging, you can go into a modified roll-up. Roll up your hands to your knees. Or you can use a strap around your legs to help assist the roll. Now we're ready for circuit 3. First exercise in circuit 3 is the dumbbell bicep curls. I prefer in a sitting position so you can't cheat swaying your body. Single arm's better. You're going to curl palm up, and on the way down the thumb's on top. The reason we do that is because then the forearm gets work. Watch my forearm on the way down. So you don't have to do a separate forearm exercise to get that all body exercise. Still the same as other exercises. You're going to blow out on exertion. And you're ready for your fatigue exercise with the machine for biceps. So we're going to use the machine for our fatigue set for biceps. Set your weight. Seat is all the way up. Your prop sitting. You do not straighten the elbows completely. Slight bend as you come down. This is called a preacher curl. Again, you're blowing out with exertion.
Sorry to interrupt.
To fatigue. Now you're ready for triceps. Next exercise in circuit 3 is the tricep extension. You're going to lie on your back, elbows straight up. You're going to support that elbow with the other hand, extend it, drop it back down to the ear, and back up. The exertion is on the way up. You're working the tricep on the back of the arm. Again, I like the single arm mode because that ensures that a weaker arm isn't made even weaker by an imbalance from doing them both at the same time. So. Something you can do 10 times, go right into your switch. About the right speed of your repetitions, and you're ready for the next exercise in circuit 3. So our fatigue exercise for triceps is the seated dip. Adjust the seat by pressure on the bottom and lifting up at the forefront of that. Reach back as far as you can, cross at the ankles, push down. Breathe in as you come up, blow it out. Use your back against this pad. Head does not have to be back, but you need to have your lower back flat against the pad. To fatigue, and you're ready for the next exercise in circuit 3. Next exercise in circuit 3 is your back extension. Key positions here with the seat position, usually in a lower position, and a forward position for the foot plate. You want your heels on the bottom of the foot plate, toes up on the top. You want to be in a little bit of a bent over position. You're going to push back and all the way bent till those weights almost touch. If you keep your legs bent, then your back will do the movement. If you straighten the knees, your hips and back will get equal work. And you don't want hip work on this, you want back work. This is to strengthen your back. So just keep those knees bent. Fatigue exercise for your back extensors is the ball extension. You can do an easy version here, where you just come up from your knees. If you want a little more challenge, straighten those knees out and come up all the way down to the ball. Key is to squeeze your butt as you come up so you don't arch your lower back, but you just are extending through the mid-back. Doing as many of these as you can to fatigue. you're ready for your next exercise in circuit 3. Core exercise for circuit 3 is for your obliques. We're going to start with the rotary torso. Make sure you position yourself correctly in the machine. When you put your feet up on the pad, you want the tibia bones to be against these blue pads. This little lever, a gas pedal, is how you adjust that. Hug those arms in tight. You're going to push up, turn one way. Hear it click in. You're going to look straight ahead and turn the other way. When you finish one side, you're going to turn it around, go to the other side, turn it head straight, and work the other direction. A lot of times with this machine, you'll have that asymmetry. You'll find, okay, this is where I'm weak, or I'm stiff. One way is much more difficult than the other, and that's the direction you want to work extra on, and you do not want to increase the weight until you can do both sides equal. All right, we're ready for our fatigue set with the obliques. So your fatigue exercise for obliques is the oblique crunch. I'm going to show you two ways of doing it. This is the more difficult way. Your hips on the ball, bottom leg is forward, top leg is back. Come down till your elbow touches the ball, come all the way back up. This working the right obliques when my left side is down. You're going to do as many as you can to fatigue, and then turn over and do the other side. When you do the other side, you just roll. Okay, that's it with circuit 3. You're ready for circuit 4. The first exercise in circuit 4 is your outer thighs. We're going to work your hip muscles. Seated position, no adjustments on the seat necessary. Legs go apart, slowly back together. You want to make sure you're pushing with the outside of your knees, not the outside of your ankles. Something you can do 10 times. On this fourth circuit, the second time through, you're going to do the inner thigh, then we're going to do a separate fatigue set. So I'm going to show you that inner thigh next. So you want to adjust the seat position, how wide the legs are first. You come in, step over the carriage. Going to be pushing together with the knees, hands back, back against the pad, squeeze, and slowly out. Our fatigue set for hips is going to be a sumo walk. I'm going to show you one repetition first, and then we're going to do the full pass, 10 steps down, 10 steps back. You can do it in one position if it's challenging for you, or you can do the movement-oriented exercise. So you're going to stay big step laterally, drop that ball below the knees, keeping your back straight. Raise up, feet together, that's one. Drop that ball between the legs, and then back up. And just keep moving. So you want to get low enough that the ball goes below the knees. So external rotation for the shoulder is the back side of the rotator cuff. Tuck that elbow in at your side. You're going to keep the elbow at 90 degrees. Come up and out so that the weight starts low and finishes high. We're going to do 10 of these. Make sure that elbow stays bent. You don't straighten the elbow. And you're going to flip it around. You need to maintain that balance. A lot of times that non-dominant hand will be not as strong, so you need to wait until you have that equal strength on that side before you advance the weight, even if you can do 10 easily on the other side. Okay, we're going to go right to your fatigue set. I'm going to lower the weight. This is like a lawnmower exercise. Stagger step position, pull up and back. So again, just like with the single arm row in the first set, the opposite foot from the arm that's pulling is forward. So it's that athletic stagger step position, 90-90 finish.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, right. When?
I had you Monday at noon, that's available.
No. It's good, it's good.
Again, to fatigue, switch hands.
Okay.
And, made it easy, so.
Okay. All right, man. Good work today. Good work.
All right, we're done with shoulder for the fourth circuit. So the leg press is our next exercise in circuit 4. Typically, for most folks, unless you have really short legs, that's going to be all the way back on the seat. We're going to do single leg presses, just like we did on the recumbent squat. You're going to push out with both. Drop one leg, which will keep your back nice and straight. Push out, and then bend up till you're about an inch from the stack.
Okay.
Second set with the other leg. You can do this with both legs. It's just a little more stress on the back. So I like to keep the weights a little lighter and do single leg work. Now you're ready for your fatigue set with the hamstrings, which is the ball bridging. So the fatigue exercise for legs on the last circuit is the ball bridge. So you're going to line your back, calves on the ball, pelvic tilt, lift your butt up, and back down. And again, this is your fatigue exercise, so I'm going to show you a variety of different ball bridges that you can do. If you push that out towards your heels, that makes it harder. If you get your arms off the ground, that adds a little more core work because you don't have the balance of the arms. If you want to increase the effect in the legs, you go into a bridge with the feet on the ball. And if you want to add some asymmetry, you can go into a bridge and march. Lastly, legs out, bridge up, curl in. You don't have to do all of those, it's just you're doing a variety of those bridges until your legs are tired. That's the end of your leg set for the fourth circuit. So our final exercise for core of the fourth circuit is the plank. So this works the transversus abdominis. We're going to show you some various versions, but you're going to hold this one for time, not do repetitions. Easy version, walk that ball out, about to the knees, hold that position, tight stomach, tight butt, keep nice plank with a flat back position, and you're going to hold that as long as you can. You want to make it a little harder, come out so that your toes are on the ball, or you can do something in between those. We're just going to hold this position, nice flat back position. Make sure you don't let your head sag. You just want to keep a nice neutral position. If it bothers your wrists, You can come down onto the elbows. If you want extra credit, you can bring those knees in, right back out to plank. Remember, this is a timed exercise. I'd say a good goal would be 1 minute. And we're done with our workout.